Turn it up, clocking out, driving home, or just turning on. We got the remedy for the daily grind, Monday through Friday. 3:30 to 5:30 EST. Get ready for the shift. It's the Taz effect. It's the Taz effect. Changing up your view, bringing news, history, and commentary to you. 2 hours of power, 5 days a week. It's the real talk and the truth that you see. Yeah. Tune your dial, clear your head. Listen up to what's being said. Yeah. Hey. Kick it off on Mutual Aid Monday. We're giving back. Helping the community, you're staying on track. And Tuesday rolls around and the studio gets blessed. It's Talk About It Tuesday with the smoking hot mess. From the middle of the week, we're leveling up your brain. Prison Wednesday is here to break the mundane. Surprising guests who enhance the whole world. Watch the knowledge and the stories get unfurled. It's the Taz effect, changing up your view. Bringing news, history, and commentary to you. 2 hours of power, 5 days a week. It's the real talk and the truth that you see. Now Thursday hits and the lines open wide. No placeholders here, nowhere to hide. Think about it Thursday, yeah, the mic is all yours. Call in, chat live, just open up the door. And just like that, the weekend's inside. We're wrapping up the weekend, we're doing it right. Fun News Friday is the ultimate news party. Coasting you into the weekend, feeling good and hearty. 3:30 to 5:30, making your daily check. Lock it in, turn it up. You just...
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me here for the Taz Effect, daily news in a way you did not know you could use. For those listening in over the radio airwaves at GCPR.live and those listening in through our Android and Apple app, thank you for tuning in. And for those listening and watching from all around the social media sphere, hey, how you doing? So glad you could come through. Let's jump right into it. Trump cancels signing of bipartisan housing bill demanding voter ID provision. After Congress advanced a bipartisan measure to improve housing affordability this week, President Donald Trump Sr. abruptly canceled a signing of the bill that was scheduled to happen at the Capitol. The House bill aims to increase supply and make homes more affordable and was heralded as a major win by both political parties. Trump Sr. said he would not sign the bill until Congress passed a controversial voter ID bill known as the Save America Act, which has stalled in the Senate. What was that they were saying about the weaponization of the government against Trump? I don't know about none of that, but I sure do know about Trump weaponizing the government against all the rest of us. Consistently. Unabashedly. Unapologetically. So screw what our representation is doing because we asked them to do it. So are you going to... What pillow blanket combination are y'all going to use this time that you roll over for Trump? Because are you going to contact your representation and tell them, hey, you did a good thing. This is what we wanted. Because this is the bill that said corporations cannot just come through and buy up properties and neighborhoods and then jack up the rent and charge you whatever. Let's keep going. President Donald Trump Sr. on Wednesday canceled via Truth Social a scheduled Capitol Hill signing of a landmark bipartisan housing bill that leaders in both parties had heralded as a win. If you are a Republican, here is your time to shine. If in your district, your senator or your House of Representative member is a Republican, this is your time to shine. This is the time. Call, text, send an email, send snail mail at them on social media and let them know, yes, you did a good thing. We need and want this housing bill codified into law. Remind them, hey, in Congress, y'all's are the ones with the power. Go tell Mushface what to do. Okay? And running over to tell him what to do may bode better in our favor than you originally thought. Take a listen.
This fat fuck has been taking an experimental weight loss drug that no one else has access to in an attempt to keep his sleep apnea, pulmonary hypertension, and congestive heart failure from killing him sooner. I'm a physical therapist with a doctorate in my field and 14 years experience working in home health care, treating geriatric patients, many with sleep apnea, heart failure, pulmonary hypertension, all the bullshit that he has. Lizzie Lawrence from Stat News has learned that Eli Lilly and the FDA have allowed one person to gain access to the drug, retatrutide is its name, through the FDA's Compassionate Use Program, a pathway that gives patients with serious and immediately life-threatening medical issues access to experimental treatments. Let me make sure you caught that. They're letting him use it because the patient has serious and immediately life-threatening medical issues. A senior clinician at the National Institutes of Health requested the drug to treat the patient for refractory obesity with obstructive sleep apnea and pulmonary hypertension, a severe version of the disease. Lawrence reached out to the White House for comment before publication. They said no comment. After publication, they said, it's not President Trump. That's how we know. It's fucking President Trump. They are trying to address his NUSI-related sleep apnea, congestive heart failure, and pulmonary hypertension primarily through weight loss. And the reason they will go to these lengths is because this motherfucker eats shit all day long and famously hates exercise. This lets us know that he should weigh roughly 300 pounds at the least, if not for taking an experimental weight loss drug. But let me be clear, you are not looking at a classic sleep apnea patient. His sleep apnea and pulmonary hypertension is a result of his congestive heart failure. His heart is in such bad shape that it has resulted in systemic disease upstream from his heart, which is why you have the swelling in the feet and ankles. Many heart failure patients cannot lie flat on their back and sleep because their internal organs push up against their diaphragm and they cannot take a deep enough breath to actually go to sleep and remain asleep. This is all a result of his heart being shit, and they're trying to address the issue from an angle that he'll actually put up with, which is a weekly injection. At this point, he's on 62 days of borrowed time. Who did he borrow the time from? The rule of law in America. And when his obstructive sleep apnea should have obstructed him permanently, been impeached, or they should have finished the process of invoking the 25th Amendment. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
You can't get affordable medication. You can't get universal health care, but he can get an experimental weight loss drug to slow down the inevitable. I want you to think about this fact. If he were not an egomaniacal president right now, with his age and pre-existing conditions, he would not, no matter how much money he threw at it, be given an experimental drug, let alone for weight loss. But keep in mind, they're giving him a weight loss drug. Nothing that can be confirmed thus far. That can be confirmed thus far for what riddles his brain. So yeah. Hey, DJ. Now, y'all remember the UFC fighter that called Michelle Obama a man, right? There have been so many false narratives, aka lies, told to save face for Trump, save face for this fighter. There was a rumor going around, well, Michelle Obama's suing him. And then there was the AI video of him going, she's overreacting. Yeah. When you sit back and you let a subset of a subset of a subset of society reign supreme, This is how we get here. Okay, Lily. All righty, hold on. All right, UFC fighter Josh Hockett says calling Michelle Obama a man was meant to be a compliment. UFC fighter Josh Hockett says he didn't intend his Michelle Obama is a man comment to be an insult. In fact, he claims it was meant to be a compliment. Now, I know why a white man would look at a black woman and believe that the public would believe that him calling her a man was a compliment. Do you know why? I thought I was giving her a compliment, he said in an appearance on the Ariel Helwani show. When Helwani expressed skepticism and began saying he didn't think anyone viewed it as a compliment, Hockett continued, Michelle Obama being a man, it's like she knows how to deal with adversity. She knows how to work hard like a man when the times get tough. But if you call his mama or his grandmother a man, I thought it was the perfect opportunity to show the world how great this country is with freedom of speech. You could have said anything, but to say what you said and then gift Trump, you go somewhere else in the world and you say something like that and you die. First of all, I'm going to need, hey, folks in the US, okay? Because you can't go nowhere else. Let me explain something to you. The United States is not the freest place on the planet. It's not. It tries to market itself that way, but it does a piss poor job because the United States doesn't really know what freedom is. It knows how to control the aesthetic of enslavement. Let me repeat that for you. The United States knows how to control the aesthetic of enslavement. He's poorly trying to backpedal because he didn't think that he would get criticism for saying that at the White House. Because let's be real, he could have said it at any point in time. You could tell if you watched it that he had been waiting to say that. It's kind of like a kid when you tell a kid, hey, if you get good grades and you do all of this, that, and the other on Friday, I'm gonna let you say cuss words. Baby, they thinking the whole time for Friday. Oh yeah, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna look like this. I'm gonna do it like this. Say that's what he was waiting on. Because if it was just a matter of freedom of speech, he could have said whatever. He thought that it would go over way better and he would have more people defending him because he said it at the White House with the current sitting president and everybody else all around. I want you to think about something. And actually, here's the thing. This is what I want you to think about. I want you to think about the aesthetics that was sold during White Trashapalooza. Okay? This was a casual sporting event. Casual sporting event. Okay? But everybody from this regime showed up looking like they were going to a board meeting. And before you go, well, that's just par for the course. Nope. I want you to look at other invited guests. I don't think enough of y'all caught the imagery that they were trying to put forward. Because let's not forget the BS that was floating around when Barack Obama was in office. They said that him and his homeboys would be doing cookouts on the front lawn of the White House, and all these baby mamas was going to pop up and all this other stuff, right? But it happened for Trump. So, of course, on a stuffy night, they're there in suits and uncomfortable, all these things. Because they needed to present to you that UFC was highbrow. No different than the current narrative that's going on with the MLB for the 1 millionth time, where they're denigrating a black man for having a blow pop on the field. They need to put certain imagery in front of you. Like, oh, they're in suits. So it makes it classy. What was that TikTok trend? What's classy if you rich, trashy if you're not? But y'all remember COVID? Y'all remember being put on punishment because of COVID? Non-wash day having folk that understood what cleaning products were before COVID? Raise your hand. Y'all remember being put on punishment? You ain't even do nothing wrong. Remember how Dr. Fauci was fighting tooth and nail? He was fighting for his life to save our lives. Hey, Nana J. You remember that? You remember that? I remember. Well, guess what? Dr. Fauci subpoenaed over COVID origins probe amid refusing to testify. During a time where this current regime is claiming that all of its participants in the current regime were subjected to the weaponization of the Biden administration, an elite redneck party. You got that right, twin. Dr. Anthony Fauci, former director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, was subpoenaed by Kentucky Republican Senator Rand Paul. And y'all want to make me feel bad because of how I choose to protest Rand Paul. The same Rand Paul that did not want to go through the proper certifications and recertifications to remain an optometrist under the official board of optometry. So he decided to create his own. I just want to sit that there with y'all. I want to just sit that there with y'all. Paul accused Fauci of dodging a previous commitment to testify before a Senate committee chaired by the Kentucky Libertarian. And don't go, I thought Rand Paul was a Republican. He is. I've told y'all 1,000,001 times. The Republican Party is an amalgamation of multiple factions. And you can be a libertarian and also be a Republican. Because of how the United States has, I guess for the sake of conversation, we'll call it lesser political parties and how they decide to name themselves, it's easy for people to get things conflated. Ideologies with political parties and the fact that they can be both. Last week, Anthony Fauci notified us that he will not voluntarily testify before the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, even though he had previously agreed to do so, Paul wrote on X on Monday. The fact that we're allowing this stuff to go out on X is ridiculous. Yes, I did hear MAGA Mike at the line his butt off at on Capitol Hill today. The subpoena is the latest in a long string of clashes between Paul and Fauci. So, Paul said this on X. Therefore, today we have issued a subpoena for him to publicly testify. Y'all won't even make Jim Jones show up for his subpoena. Fauci denied the accusations, but Paul believes the evidence shows otherwise and has pushed for an indictment of Fauci, alleging that he lied to Congress under oath. He's saying that according to Rand Paul, as far back as 2021, Paul accused Fauci in a Senate hearing of providing funding for a Chinese laboratory, which intelligence reports have revealed may have originated the COVID-19 pandemic. This is why I say, do not believe certain people when they're like, no, I'm not a Trumper, because they don't have to be a Trumper to be a racist. They don't have to be a Trumper to be a conspiracy theorist. And again, y'all keep looking at people and believing that because somebody gave birth, because somebody put a ring on somebody's finger who did give birth, because somebody was former law enforcement, because somebody served in the military, you just get in your head, oh yeah, that means that they're qualified. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And I mean no disrespect to anybody in any of those categories. But sorry, not sorry. Pushing out a baby does not make you qualify for every position on the damn planet. Getting married does not make you qualify for every position on the planet. Being a member of law enforcement, serving in the military does not mean that you are qualified for every position. And I want y'all to really think about the military aspect, because you're not even going for electing generals, first sergeants, major sergeants. No. Somebody can just say, yeah, I had some rough days. And in 3 months, I wore the uniform, and you're like, yup, they're qualified. Yup. Let's make them insert political position here, and then you turn around and wonder why shit is going to pot. The vast majority of people in the military took orders. They didn't create the orders. They weren't a part of the strategic planning. And no, I'm not trying to denigrate anybody who served in the military. I'm stating facts. This predicament that we're in right now has been a long time in the making, and it's because you idolize weird shit. It's no different than the small town adage that, the state championship football captain now owns a car lot. And everybody goes to him because, yeah, he got to be qualified to be able to do. Why? How did throwing a football translate into being able to sell you something reputably? Child, I guess. Let's not forget, wackadoos have been known to serve in the U.S. military. People have gone into the military sane by societal standards, have come out in the brain. And again, not denigrating anybody. I have a family member that for quite a while, when going to see their therapist, they had to go at a certain time after the therapist receptionist left because they had that severe of a break with reality after everything that they endured in the military. You should not vote for them to count the paper plates at the next cookout, honey. Let alone look at them and go, well, we do need a senator. Let's get that one. And speaking of military, former military, that's a little cuckoo. Ex-Trump intelligence chief Tulsi Gabbard repeated talking points from leader of cult-like Hare Krishna group. The toenail clippings eating cult that she's a part of. I wish I was joking about that, but I'm not. A sweeping Washington Post investigation raises alarming questions about whether Tulsi Gabbard, who until last week served as Director of National Intelligence, overseeing the entirety of America's intelligence gathering apparatus, was operating under the influence of an eccentric religious leader and his breakaway Hare Krishna group. First of all, we've been knew this. We've been telling y'all this. Just like I need y'all to grab hold of the reality that Amy Coney Barrett is in a religious cult also, and she even confirmed with her own mouth before our own eyes to listen with our own ears that her brand of cult gives her as a woman a religious advisor that has to be let in on every aspect of her life, and her decisions are based upon the guidance that her spiritual guider or spiritual leader, well, I guess you could say intercessor, provides to her. See, when the dog whistle of traditional woman comes up, this is what they're talking about. Like, they will let you work as long as they can give you a babysitter. Yeah. Reporter John Swain reviewed more than 25,000 pages of emails, memos, and other documents shared with Gabbard by senior leaders of the Science of Identity Foundation, SIF, SIF, a group led by Chris Butler on Butler's apparent behalf. The documents were provided by a former SIF member for following a falling out with the organization. Swain found, so you knew that you were in a cult and you were willing to chill in the cult till you couldn't have your way. I'll stop to point that out because I'm going to need y'all to stop overwhelmingly having a bleeding heart for adults in these cults. And I'm talking about adults that went in as adults and came out when they ran out of choices as adults. Swain found what he described as unmistakable parallels between directives issued by the group and Gabbard's political decisions, including the specific language she used in national media appearances and the legislation she introduced in the House. The implication is not subtle that the secretive religious organization with an eccentric, demanding leader may have had a direct hand in shaping the public positions and official actions of the woman responsible for coordinating U.S. intelligence. And here's the thing. She was being guided by an overzealous cult leader. There are people who said and did way worse that were not. And white people, come to the front. Come to the front, because I'm tired of these cults popping up. And then when we get a peek at the cult leaders, they're not charismatic. Y'all sit there, he was so charismatic. No, he's not. Not attractive. Not anything. They should be having you hanging on this mofo's words, just convincing yourself out of reality to give up everything for somebody that under any other circumstance you will run across the street and close your eyes and go, can't hear, because they look like something you should definitely be afraid of. They look like a wayward disease that leaped out of a petri dish and ran out of the lab. But you find yourself in these situations because you refuse to learn what community is and how to build it. Y'all have culturally appropriated everything but the positive stuff in society. Y'all done came in, took notes on remix after you done stole everything else but what makes society good. I can't with y'all. Now, from one Trump-tacular mistake to another Trump-tacular mistake, Kristi Noem granted clemency to Mark Milk in 2023 while she was governor of South Dakota after he had already served count them, three, yes, that's three, uno, dos, tres, don't release it, decades of a life sentence for homicide. And before you go, but Taj, you tell us all the time that, people are let go and getting clemency because they're found to be not guilty, that it was a rigged trial to begin with. I'm aware. Keep paying attention. Keep paying attention. Worse than Paula White, DJ. Way worse than Paula White. Oh, good grief. Shucks. Sorry, trying to put something in the chat. Okay, I guess it doesn't want to go. Now Milk has been charged in connection with the death of his 14-year-old niece, McKenna Wendell, who was missing for 5 days before her body was found near a creek in South Dakota. The case has renewed scrutiny of Noam's overall clemency record, since 12 other recipients of her 27 commutations have also been charged with new crimes. This casts doubt on whether or not South Dakota's clemency process was ever strong enough to protect the public in the first place. It's not. There really wasn't a process under Noam. It was, is he white? Who in his family donated to my campaign? Pretty much the same thing that Trump goes by. Now, once VP put it in the pullout, caught on camera with members of a foreign government, picture taken by a former government, giving a foreign official access to a U.S. laptop. And when I'm saying U.S. laptop, I'm talking about like property of the federal government, okay? And was he using someone else's cat card? The jambalaya of what not to do is what happened. Yeah. Whether at work or at home. Okay. But especially at work, don't allow anybody else to utilize your credentials when it comes to technology. Okay. Hey, Harley. Don't do that. Also, like I have a rule. Like when I'm working like on my computer type, I don't allow anyone to videotape me, take pictures. I had someone get upset with me. We were meeting at a place and they came a bit early and they wanted to keep walking behind me when I told them I was finishing something up for another client. And I was like, nope. The same amount of privacy and discretion that I promise you and I put into a contract with you, I give to everybody else. Just because you're now paying me for a service does not mean you get to come back and be all up in somebody else's literal business. But I'm going to take pictures if I want to. I guess you don't value your kneecaps or your arm connectors. Take the pictures if you take. Go ahead if you want to. Go from slightly disabled to fully disabled. Tucker Carlson reveals which Democrat Trump Sr. believes can win in 2028. Any of them. But I'm pretty sure we all know the Democrat that Trump currently fears. Conservative commentator Tucker Carlson has claimed there is one Democrat that President Donald Trump Sr. is very convinced will succeed him in 2028. California Governor Gavin Newsom is the one opposition figure that the president privately believes can win the White House, according to the supporter turned critic. Here's the thing. Trump has no more elections to run for. He takes everything personally because he takes it as a personal attack on him, because he runs out of personal duty, personal due diligence, personal to avoid personal accountability. But baby, you're not a king. We were supposed to sit with our backs to the wall. Yep. And also, I'm seeing far too many think pieces without any thought behind them regarding Tucker Carlson. Get offended if you want. I don't care. If you want somebody to lie to you about the news, go to Alan Parnas. Go to Aaron Parnas. That's you can get a good lie over there. Okay. I don't know why y'all thought that the son of Les Parnas would, but anywho, I digress. And Parnas goes in this conversation as well. Leaving a party does not mean that you're leaving the ideologies behind. Y'all keep looking at and propping up people and defending people, not realizing they didn't leave shit behind. Like, Aaron Parnas got criticized. First of all, a good chunk of people did not know that he was married, didn't know that his wife was pregnant at the time, no nothing. People like, I can't believe you criticized him while his wife was in labor. That mother wasn't in labor, and who cares? If your job is public facing and you consistently lie to people like your daddy, what you mean? Aaron Parnas will read y'all 3 headlines and then go, I'll break this down for you in my Substack. And the breakdown is reading to you the rest of the article. And y'all protect him like he's a broken-legged goat. You all's obsession with trying so hard to protect white-bodied individuals and still viewing white-bodied individuals as the end-all to be-all, the arbiters of intellect, is mind-blowing. I saw in a comment section the other day, a white woman made a video saying, hey, I don't know what's going on. I just know to listen to black women. Y'all up in arms. It was something to do with Caitlin Clark. Like I'm paraphrasing, but she was like, look, y'all mad at Caitlin Clark, but I learned in 2024, she ain't shit. She racist. I listen to black women. Y'all should too. That was the crux of her video. People in the comments section, people who look like me. Why don't you tell them about blah, blah, blah? She's been breaking it. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I ain't paying for news. I'm sorry. I appreciate people who can break it down. Yeah. Jane is a capitalist. Okay, I don't know how many times we got to show y'all footage of her being quote unquote busted saying the N-word and letting her freak flag fly. Plus, I don't know if I want to learn about Native American culture, I go to Native Americans. I do not know why y'all always white-bodied individual when we ain't talking about white people. Huh? I've never had open heart surgery. Why would you come to me and ask about the recovery time, tricks of the trade, and how to get through it? Why? And you wouldn't listen to me if I decided to make my social media persona giving you advice about stuff you know unequivocally. I ain't about that life. But you do it day after day after day when it comes to white folks, to the point where we have social media accounts now admitting that James Challarico has a piss poor campaign and he needs everybody else to run the campaign and stomp the ground for his campaign for him. Y'all want so badly for everything to be white man faced, white man centered. And it does not matter if you're left-leaning, right-leaning, or standing straight up in the middle. You need to reconcile with your unabashed desire to have every spokesperson be a white man. Y'all sit here every day online talking about how white men ain't qualified for this, white men ain't qualified for that, white men ain't shit, white men, blah, 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 blah. And then you turn around and will convince everybody to stand behind a white man and then get pissy when we don't want to show up to do the work that you hired that white man to do. If I come to your place of employment where you're hiring, I tell you I'm not qualified to do nothing in that building. Okay? I don't even give you an inkling of an impression that I'm willing to learn how to do anything. I don't even want to sweep and mop the floors. And you give me the job. You would fire me so quick if I got some of my friends to come and we walk around that building and go, hey, I need you to do this aspect of my job for me. Why? Because I don't know how to do it and I don't want to do it. But it's got to be done, so you do it. And I'm still collecting a check. No different than you refuse to hire Kamala Harris and they got the audacity to turn around. Where's Kamala? Where's Kamala? Where's Kamala? Where's Kamala? Where's Kamala? She's supposed to be the leader. You told her she didn't get the job. Progressive, not progressive, independent, Democrat, temperance, pink party, green party, libertarian, GOP. Y'all told her she wasn't a leader of nothing. You didn't want her to lead nothing. Okay? You didn't even want her to lead a hose over to the car you was trying to wash in the driveway. What you mean? You keep doing it over and over and over and over and over again. You're getting upset that black women aren't like you. You're getting upset because black women, and I'm talking about black women specifically right now. We'll get to black men later on in the show. That black women understand consent. We understand that no means no. When you tell us, you're not welcome here, we're like, oh, say less, fam, say less. We gather our stuff and we get to getting. And you're upset that we're respecting the boundary you put up. But y'all keep saying y'all hail from the people that brought us salvation and civilization. Then why are you calling upon us right now? Why are you so out of ideas? And why do you keep trying to infiltrate black activism spaces? Diverse activism spaces. Like, we're not going to take offense because you tell us no. Okay. Just like recently, Jasmine Crockett came out and put out a video and she said, hey, why are y'all asking me to do this, that, and the other? I'm not on the ballot. I won't be in Senate. You told me you didn't want me. Okay. I'm going back to do my regular, schmegular 9 to 5. Cool. You never realize how much you need someone until they're gone. Absolutely. Absolutely. No. Here we go.
Trump's DOJ is now arguing in court that Elon Musk's AI company should be allowed to pollute majority black neighborhoods without having the required permits. The DOJ filed a motion in a Mississippi federal court asking a judge to dismiss a Clean Air Act lawsuit against Elon Musk's company XAI. The case comes from an April 2026 lawsuit brought by the NAACP and environmental groups, which alleges XAI is illegally operating dozens of unpermitted methane gas turbines to power its AI data center hub. These turbines emit toxic smog-forming pollutants, including nitrogen oxides and formaldehyde, into surrounding majority black neighborhoods that already suffer from high pollution levels. Local residents have also filed additional separate lawsuits citing inescapable noise from the data center impacting their health and property values. But Trump's DOJ intervened in the case with an aggressive and highly unusual motion to dismiss, advancing two main arguments. They say halting the turbines threatens American national security and economic interests, stating that XAI's technology, including Grok, supports military operations for the Department of Defense, and these regulations and lawsuits could severely impact essential technological innovation. They're also arguing the federal government possesses the sole authority to determine environmental enforcement and can override or veto community-led citizen suits at will. This defense of XAI comes directly after SpaceX, which is XAI's parent company, launched a massive IPO boosted by billions in federal contracts.
Also, just so you know, Elon Musk has already lost his status as a trillionaire because, once again, he's not liquid rich, he's stock rich. Okay. And for those out here bootlicking for Elon Musk, if you just work harder, if that adage of just work harder was true, everybody listening and watching right now would be a millionaire. Okay. Everybody would be. Number one. Number two, let us not forget that Elon Musk sued his way into every position that he's been in. He has no creativity. He has no education. Board members of one of the earlier companies that he bulldozed his way onto fabricated credentials for him. He lives like the ultimate welfare queen. Let's not forget that the quote unquote richest man on the planet was bragging like a little kid at their first ever sleepover when Trump let him stay at the White House. This man was so giddy that he had to let us know that he had Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Let that sink in. So those out there bootlicking Elon Musk, like, oh, he just living a dream. He cares about the label of richness, but he's living worse than the poorest of poor people. This is somebody who lived in a tent on top of a building, who lived on the production floor, and people are so like, well, he never stops working. He never starts working. Hey, T, he never starts working. This man is so much the poster child of U.S. capitalism that his children have come out to expose him and say that even when it comes down to gaming, he's gotten his kids to do it for him. Yeah. Hey, bro. And then there's this chap. Pay close attention.
Yeah, Jake Lang walked out of jail this morning speaking with one of our photographers about that terroristic threat charge and his ban from the state of Texas. Far-right influencer and pardoned January 6th rioter Jake Lang walking out of Collin County Jail Tuesday after multiple arrests this month related to the Carmelo Anthony trial.
Why am I the one being mistreated by the justice system?
Lang's most recent charge, felony terroristic threat. According to an arrest warrant affidavit obtained by Fox 4, Lang was identified on video outside Anthony's trial, saying he'd kill Carmelo Anthony with a shot to the head. Lang was charged by the Texas Department of Public Safety. It was working with the Texas Fusion Center, proactively monitoring threats seen on social media related to the trial.
The judicial tyrants have gone drunk with power.
This wasn't a, hey, if I see you outside, we can tangle. It was I'm going to take a headshot and end it right there. And then he, according to the PC affidavit, doubled down.
Criminal defense attorney and former Collin County prosecutor Rebecca Pearlstein is not connected to this case. A judge reduced Lang's $1 million bond to $250,000.
I want y'all to forever remember something. Biggest argument surrounding this case is that nobody should resort to violence. Carmelo could have just got up and walked away. The violence, that's so low IQ. The people who are saying this are silent about the violence that Chud put out there, making a ton of excuses regarding the violence that Jake threatened. And he knew he could say it and get away with it because that is the wet dream of non-deconstructing white-bodied men everywhere. I want you to think about, okay? I want you to think about. Jake Lang knew what the verdict was when he said what he was going to say. And I know some people are going to be like, no, he said that before the verdict was read. Use your critical thinking skills, okay? Let the smarticle particles work. Let your fingers rest for a minute. Let And he knew in his heart of hearts he could say what he said in Texas and get away with it because look at everything that's been happening. What he did not bank on is the publicity behind it. See, we're in a time unlike any before. We can see in real time the truth as it unfolds. A lot of these people of yesteryear got away with it because it would only be a handful of witnesses. And by the time those witnesses would have said anything, every place else would have been saturated with the original narrative because they had it ready to go, ready to hit the presses. So yeah, keep that in mind. And I also want to, before we go into our next segment, leave you with this. The current sitting felonious president of the United States says that the Iran war helped him realize that there are no limits, none, to his power. Be careful who you protect. Be careful who you protect. Now, got a little intro for you all, and then we're going to get into Wisdom Wednesdays.
Touches and spark in the night, guiding us into the light, exercising the mind so bright, smart eagle, particles take flight.
With that, I welcome back the man with the education, the man with the juice, the man with the personality. I know him as Elijah. You know him as Professor Moriarity. How are you today, darling? Professor Moriarty. How are you today, darling?
I'm good, thanks. I'm not too bad. I've had a busy day, but I'm okay.
Good. Now, starting off, a lot of people I think are confused as to what Outkast Nation is. So why don't you take a moment to explain to people what Outkast Nation is?
Okay, so it's people who have been isolated in society. It's people who felt they haven't had a voice. It's people who felt they haven't been represented. And it's about time that us who have been treated that way, who have been marginalized, speak things in a way that's undiluted, unfiltered. And I believe in both entities I'm in, but especially Outkast Nation, that it's the outcasts who speak, that it's the outcasts who shall rise. It has even been written, the meek shall inherit the earth. The ones who need to take over societies. One of my favorite videos of all time is Mosh by Eminem, where you see him guiding the outcasts of society to rise and take over the presidential household and change laws, policies, and procedures. And that is what I'm about. The outcast, the marginalized, rising up and changing things. The Outkast Nation is about us who have been silenced, us who have been marginalized, us who have been separated, made to feel that we have to sleek in the shadows. But what you need to understand is through that comes an entity where we can gain influence because we know where the shadows are. We know where the hidden people are. And we who are part of the Outkast Nation have the ability to speak up and change things because we know what needs to be said and how it needs to be said and why it needs to be said. We have a power now. People are scared of the marginalized speaking up and changing things. And like you may have been seeing in the last few times, let chaos reign. Let the outcast villains rise up and demand change and create it. It's about time.
Yeah. Angry
Sorry,
wants to
I'm
know.
quite passionate about this.
Oh, I know. Angry wants to know, are you bricked up, sir?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, I love the let chaos reign and the fact that we should go out and we should get it and we should take things back because let's face it. Colonizers, that's what they did. They saw, they wanted, they went, and they took. It is okay to take back. If somebody were to come up and try to take your wallet, of course you can go and take it back. What is your advice for the people who may be still a little hesitant, a little timid to do so?
I would say, and I use this in therapeutic one-to-ones and group conversations, there is a shadow voice inside you that is waiting to speak out. There is a shadow voice inside you that is making you aware of how he or she or they feel. There's a shadow voice inside you that knows what needs to be said and how it needs to be said and why it needs to be said. Listen to it, hear it, recognize it, be in partnership with it, own it, and let that be your voice as to what needs to be done. Let that be your voice as to how it should be done. Now, I'm not saying go out and loot and pillage and all them kind of things there, by the way. Use what is around you. Create community organizations, community images. Create in those entities representatives of mental health, of legal representation, of community programs, food banks or community food kitchens, you may call them over there, housing, tenancy managed organizations, professionals with lived experience of the situations are about. I'm even of the opinion that in the UK, for example, there's all these politicians who come from schools like Eton and Cambridge and all these kind of things. Fuck that. Get rid of them. Have the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker be the voices of what should be done, how it should be governed and why, because we know the price of a loaf of bread and that, and how we can make food last. If you haven't heard an argument about Mary Jane Rottencrutch and what's going on in a neighborhood, but you can tell us how we should live, something's wrong there somewhere. I think we should rise up and own our inner selves. I wasn't always like this. I was a quiet one who hid in the corner and didn't say anything, but I did a lot of listening. I did a lot of researching, and, you know, I did a lot of wanting to do something, social justice. And then TikTok came about and I thought, screw it. And the Outkast Nation was just me saying, rise up, don't be outcasts anymore, be those entities that go out and demand change. I didn't know it was going to turn into this. I didn't know it was going to turn into an entity that led to people going out, canvassing on the streets, creating petitions to change the votes and all this kind of stuff, people creating community entities to help people. I had no idea. And I'm so proud of everybody who's felt the need to say, screw it, we're not outcasts anymore. We're going to change things. And yeah, I've been passionate about this for best part of a decade now. So thank you to all of those who are seeing this as something that, you know, needs to be done, and let it continue.
And how can people be supportive?
Okay, so it even if it's joining in a way where you're just observing what the rest of us do, that's fine. Raising awareness of what's going on in your communities, your nations, your towns, that's fine. Providing information on what can be done, doing, you know, sort of research and detective work to provide the rest of us with the impetus of what we can do, that's fine. If you want to be loud and proud and have something to say about it and raise the voices of what can we do about it, that's fine. Not all of us are able to speak out in the way I do, but if you want to be part of it in some way, even if it's in the background feeding into us and being part of the family we're creating, that's fine too.
Now, what is the big...
Oh, your sound's gone. Go on. I can hear you now.
Okay. What is the biggest misconception that people have regarding you as a person?
That I'm always angry, that I'm always ultra serious, and that I'm scary. I'm scary when I need to be scary. And I can have a sense of humor. I can have a sense of fun. And maybe I should show that more. Me and Thomas has been arguing about that for, well, years now. And I'm trying to eat that out a bit more and more. It's coming out when I join in the Sound of Coffee, for example, and things like this. I'm not always serious and scary, I promise you.
Well, Sarah said you're real turn, so, you know. But you and I have had conversations like because there are people who think that I'm scary. I know a lot of y'all listening and watching, like, people think that you're scary. Yes, there are people who genuinely think that I'm scary. That if I pop up, like, I am what goes bump in the night. I don't think so. I don't think so either. But what is one thing you wish people knew the most about you, and what drives you?
What drives me is helping people to be the best they can be. What drives me is creating things around them which enable them to be better themselves. I provide interventions, so somebody could come to me and be at rock bottom and not know what to do and have severe mental health or even some mental health and copes with it with whatever they need to do to soothe. I will work 150%, and I believe there is such a thing, because if you're giving all of yourself and then you find that extra bit more, that is possibly above the 100% that everybody else gives. I also believe failure is not an option. I will not stop until that person becomes the best they can be and then can say to me after months, sometimes it's been years, do you know what? I've got this from here, but thank you. I will contact every organization, every entity that I can, and nerdle them and nudge them and nag them until they do what I want them to do to help an individual under my service. I will create hell. It's now come to the point where there's certain organizations, when they see my email, the words that come out of their mouth, oh, we better fix up. That's what I do. So I am very passionate about helping the marginalized. It's not just something I say on here, it's something I do. I do outreach. I go out in the open. I find people who are street homeless. I find people, some of which there's women and men being used to do sex work. There's women and men being trapped in trap houses, or what Thomas may call $10 houses. I know the real thing. And you see sights that make you so sad, how people can be forced to live that way, and governments and local government levels are doing nothing about it. And something else I have to do is prove they're vulnerable. So gather information from their family doctors, GPs, gather information from any entities that provide them with health and care, harvest that information, and then attack, metaphorically, those entities that can provide them with housing, with financial support, and things like this. Oh, it's frozen.
Difficulties.
It's frozen.
On.
I can see you on here. I'm on.
I am
I've
reconnecting
got.
right now, but we do have a question.
See you on here.
Yeah. Do you have a question coming in from Michael Pruitt? We do have a question. And I'm going to refresh while you answer that question.
Okay. Yes. I was a child. And I was abused. And it made me realize that I felt the most hated I've ever been. I felt the most separate I've ever been. And I went for years thinking I had to target those that hurt me. I had to target those that did what they did. I had to target those that groomed me. And I used to watch horror films and things like this and dream about doing things, but I didn't. I went for addiction. And what it made me realize, those experiences, is that I could use that lived experience years later down the line to help people. I could go into those spaces where I used to go and find the people that need help. I can speak to the people and they can look into my eyes and see I've been there. And I understand that there are people who may think they have to turn to the dark, and there are scumbags who do disgusting things and use these experiences as an excuse. I can tell you, you don't need to do that. You can use your bad experiences and think, if I want to recover, I had to go for recovery for substance use. I had to go for recovery, and I'm still working on my mental health. And use those skills and experiences, and they are skills and experiences that you pick up going through trauma, but use them for the power of good, of helping those who are needed. That's what I call outcast ideology.
Do you like that?
That's what outcast ideology is about, using those skills and experiences, but for the greater good rather than bad.
Now, we do have another question. This one's coming from Nana J. What is the biggest thing you deal with that we as a group can help you with?
Recognizing that there's a lot of trauma out there. There are a lot of people out there who are traumatized, who are afraid to speak up. There are a lot of people out there who are traumatized, who don't realize there's help out there available. There are a lot of people out there who want to reach out, but don't know how to. I want us to create entities, organizations, communities where we can say, we're here for you. There's people that can help you, and do the work with them. I want these organizations, Outkast Nation, to be recognized as something that can use social media to spread awareness, but also if you connect with us, we've got the ability with real community organizations to do something about it. I also want us to have the ability to contact our representatives. And we all know how we can find out who they are. If you don't, we can research them for you. Town, location, whatever. We've got researchers. And then identify the representatives, put together a list of do's and don'ts and what you want. And then we can say for you, this has to change and why. This is what I'm about. Create real change.
Now, being a Black man in the climate that is global right now, how are you stay safe?
Did you say how can people stay safe?
How do you, as a Black man in the current climate globally, stay safe?
I don't care. I walk around with my beads, my anks, my hat, my waistcoat, my suit, and I'm bold and brass, and I go up to people and I am what I am. Safety is something I don't think about. Maybe that's something I've developed because of what I've been through. Fear of danger is something that doesn't exist for me anymore. Walking into those outer echelons of society, the outer paradigms of existence in those alleyways, highways, and byways we're all about, to find the people that need help is something I do all the time. And what's loved is now I can tell you I lead in those spaces. The local police, the local police teams, the local community enforcement officers follow me. I lead them into those spaces and say, I'm here to find the people that need help. You hang back with your handcuffs and whatever it is. Let me speak first. And then I'll go to the people and say, okay, here's your choice. You sit in front of me. You give me an idea of what you need help with. You give me your contact details so I can reach out and identify help for you. Or if you want to be bad man or bad woman, you deal with this lot. What's it to be? And in some nations around East London, small parts, I'm known as the general for that reason, because I lead the troops around to help people. And if there's anyone in East London, yes, it's me. So fear, you can't be afraid if you're going to go out and do the work and reach out to the people who are in these spaces where other organizations won't tread, who are in the spaces where people talk about safeguarding and fear and things like this and won't go into these spaces, but the people we're looking for get lost. I will walk in those spaces proudly, and the people have a respect for that. And I speak in a way where I don't come across as governmental or anything, or fed in any way. I'll tell them straight. I was in that space, and I will prove it by giving them life experiences and life stories, lived experience to prove to them I know where they are, but I know how I can help.
Okay, we have another one coming from Michael Pruitt. How do you end the feelings of revenge? I recently had memories come back to me, and all I feel is vengeance.
Okay, I know where that comes from. If you have been through severe trauma, and it goes back decades, years, to a place where you were relatively young, you develop something, the inner self, the shadow self. It's also known in some therapeutic circles as the inner child. Have a conversation. Sounds weird, Use a therapist. There's something called somatic therapy. There's also something called parts work, where, and you may have seen a video where I did a recent toing and froing between me and a shadow self with a filter, where you're having that conversation, you're recognizing the thoughts that are coming through, you're honest about it. Identify the hurt self, identify better self. And also know this: the people who did what they did to you, even if you faced them, and I saw this recently, Cole Cutsbrand, please watch him. There's a duet I did, and he said, peace comes from knowing that seeking revenge is something that is wrong, something that I'm paraphrasing, something that will eat you alive, and something that will ultimately cost you. And even if you had the chance to face the people that did what they did, even if you said to them, be sorry or else, they're not going to do that, because ultimately they're weak. They're parasites. They prey on what they perceive as weak. What you can gain from this is being better. My example is this. I come from being low and being a street urchin and taking drugs and doing all sorts of nasty things to keep up that lifestyle, to now being a lead in my field of health and social care, being someone who's identified being a trainee therapist, somebody who has motivational interviewing skills, somebody who was once chased by police is now leading police into spaces where they have to follow me to identify help. Look up Project Adder, and you in the UK, and you will see they are using community leaders for this process. Identifying hotspots where there's drug use and chaotic lifestyles, and using community leaders to enter those spaces while they hang back and we do our thing to try and create a difference, so that they don't have to be arrested and things like this necessarily, unless they've done something so bad. And then you can look these people in the eye and say, I beat you, and I didn't have to sell my soul to do so. That is your revenge.
Very, very true, and very, very powerful. Now, when you take off the suit, you take off the hat, and you are kicking back and relaxing, what is your go-to? Is it music? Is it a movie? Is it a snack? What
Music.
brings Professor joy?
It's music, definitely, first and foremost. And it depends what I want to G myself up to. I mean, there was a song recently I listened to, and it's called Can't Be Touched. It's by a boxer turned rapper. And when I want to go out and feel I'm going to kick ass, I listen to that. I listen to Mosh by Eminem. I listen to trance music. I listen to some hip hop. I listen to ghetto gospel, all kinds of things. I even listen to Hans Zimmer. You know, yeah. I even listen to, I'm quite eclectic. I listen to Hans Zimmer. That tune Time, for example, love it. So it depends what mood I'm in. I also like the written word. I like reading. I like verse, not necessarily poetry, because there is a difference. And I like to learn a lot. And you'd be surprised what I find funny. people getting smashed up. You know, I used to watch martial arts films, right? There's a bit in Enter the Dragon where Bruce Lee jumps on the guy's neck and you hear the crack. That shit makes me laugh. I'm sorry. There's a bit where in Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors, Fred Krueger turns a guy into a string puppet and then cuts the strings and he falls down. Love that shit. I was a guy in the back of the cinema laughing his head off while everybody else was going, who is that guy? Yeah. All kinds of things. Maybe you should start calling me the Mad Professor. I don't know.
You know what? Island Boy and Pundit said you all are one and the same, and Angry has popped in saying, "Roy Jones, I can't be touched" is one of my lifting songs. Of course.
Oh, absolutely, brother, absolutely. I love that.
It's just that. Yeah, it's just eclectic with the music and the just an all-around renaissance man. We see.
I try.
Now, as we move further into 2026, what goals do you have for the rest of the year?
Being on the way to becoming a full-blown therapist, creating community nations and creating change worldwide if possible, and creating things where dictators get toppled, where people can stand up and challenge in the way that's never happened before, where people can say, we're not having it. And to you well-meaners, you are followers. You are sheep. You are the ones who let these things happen. You are the ones who let the people like DT47 come in charge because you don't want a strong black woman to take over, because it will remind you that you are weak. I want you to be outed and exposed as the cowards that you are, and let the outcasts rise up and show you for who you are and say, we're the ones who are going to create change. Step aside, get out of the damn way. That's what I want. Let chaos reign. Think of The Dark Knight. I ain't Batman. I'll give you that clue. I'm Heath Ledger in this shit.
Yeah. Now, there's some people who I think don't understand what you mean by a well-meaner. So would you mind explaining to them what you mean by that?
Well, I'm being kind. What can I say? It's those liberal, white, leftist people who say, yes, we're progressive. Yes, we want change. Yes, we want, things done where dictators are there and there are allies. And I will use the word allies because to me it's a swear word. But then when it comes to identifying who could really create change in the most powerful manner, oh, it don't look like Michelle Obama. Oh, it don't look like Jasmine Crockett. Oh, it don't look like Kamala Harris. Why? Because it's a strong black woman who'll tell you about yourself and you don't want to hear that. They're the well-meaners I'm talking about. The ones who will say, yeah, but, and find excuses, right? And I'm going to say something that's controversial, but fuck it. Excuse me. I'm killing you, Small. Sorry. When I hear about Be the Bear, I'm all for saying it's all men and all this. I agree totally. But when white women talk about Be the Bear, they are talking about the polar variety. They are talking polar bear shit. They know that somebody once asked, if you had a choice between a bear in the woods and a white woman, who would you choose? And the majority still said they picked the bear. Why? Because you're the most dangerous entity in existence. You're the ones who let hear about black women being strange fruited, attacked, unalived, children being unalived, 1-year-old kids being shot in the back of a car, and you're the ones that will go, yeah, but, and still stick up for whiteness because that's your default position. The cognitive dissonance kicks into focus and it's protect the species first. You're the Wilninas I'm talking about. It's the difference between covert and loud, obvious and hidden. To me, there's no difference. To me, it's the same. And let's get this right. I am talking about whiteness, the social construct. If you identify as having that social construct, you're part of the problem. I'm not talking about the people who identify their communities, their cultures, their backgrounds, Italian, Welsh, Irish, whatever it is, fine. But you can be that and not identify with the social construct that is whiteness. If you identify as that, then you are saying we want to be protected by it. We want it still to be part of our existence and we don't want to lose it. Thank you very much. There was a game, Assassin's Creed, and there was a character called Haytham. This is going to blow your mind. IT nerd may know about this. And he said the biggest trick we ever played was doing nothing, because by doing nothing, we will always be on top because we don't have to do anything for that to be achieved. I ask you out there, research it. Haytham's speech. You will see it. One of the most, I mean, I'm a gamer as well. One of the most useful game series in existence that tells you the actual truth, and I hope I'm not advertising, is the Assassin's Creed saga. Research it.
Wait, so you out here gaming?
Oh, of course. Oh, of course.
Yeah, streets, talking to people.
Okay. Mortal Kombat. Hey, get over here. Come on, man. Come on, man. That was a killer.
Yes, Mandy, he is totally cool. I'm trying to get everybody else to see how cool he is. He is cool. He's very cool. Y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't know. You gonna figure it out. We gonna get it out there. So wait a minute. You up here with Mortal Kombat? You out here talking about some finish him? Like,
Yeah.
wait, what? Okay, you know what? So we done learned that you like to cut a rug with the music. You're suave and debonair with no fear, and you out here gay? Okay. Matter of fact, hold on. Matter of fact, that was one of the games we talked about for Men's Mental Health Month for NPC chat. Yes, it was. That's why I kind of veered off for a second because I was like, wait a minute. I couldn't remember which show it was. But, okay. Now I told y'all we were going to have a 2-for-1. We got Mr. He jumped the gun. I was going to try to give him a nice entrance, but here we go.
I don't do nice entrances. You already know that.
Oh my God, this has never happened.
Be quiet and let me give you a giant entrance.
Listen,
hush.
I'm a wrecking ball.
And I'm Miley Cyrus. You don't know.
You can't. No, you can't put it. You can't put a dress on a wrecking ball. You can't do that.
That does not.
Wrecking ball just come in and like
Anywho,
listen.
I told you I was going to be a 2-for-1. I knew that this was a good idea on paper. In reality, there's no telling where this is going to go now. Heathens. I would say y'all been behaving up until this point. That would be a lie. So Thomas the Villain Bishop is here with us today.
Hello, all.
I'm gonna kick it off like I kicked it off with the Moriarty. Well, they know that you gave and you the comics and all of that good stuff.
Yes. Yes.
So when all of the things come off, all of the things, what relaxes you? Then we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty.
What relaxes me? Bagging and boarding common. Bagging and boarding common. I've been going through some shit the past couple of days, and one of the things that I did to really just relax myself was I had a big ass pile of comics. I got 100 boards and 100 bags, and I just bagged the dog shit out of them and just put them in a box and put the box up above. And it was so relaxing. I was rewatching Invincible, and it was just bagging and board.
I understand. Your brother from another mother said edibles.
That too, but you got to work to that. Like I tend to like Mondays and Tuesdays, I tend to just edible and just be relaxed, but I do it for work on Wednesday.
We need to talk, sir.
Why do we need to talk, sir? Because if I remember correctly, somebody wanted to take me on a crack tour, and I'm not ever gonna. Most friends will offer to give you a party. Most friends will offer to take you someplace you've never been before. This man decided to make a party out of taking me to crack dens, where he gets to say people, I get to laugh at it, and we get to film it. Are
you new here? Nothing.
No, I'm not.
Here is
no, I am not new.
Regular.
That's the crazy part. I've been here.
Now, in all fairness, what is the one thing people get wrong about you the most?
Oh, good Lord. All right. I am not a narcissist. I am not a bully. I'm not homophobic. I have never done anything online to anybody that didn't have it coming to them in the first place. I don't go making enemies. I don't think I'm better than anybody, but I will tell some people that I am, because I am. I am a very loyal friend, but I have discovered that loyalty comes with a cost. It's never, and let me help you understand something. I'm not infallible. I will make more mistakes. Than you can possibly imagine. And I'll be the first person to say, yo, I made that mistake. That was me. Ask these two, because they've witnessed it. But I am not nearly the piece of shit son of a bitch that most of y'all believe me to be. I don't bother nobody. I tend to be more of a happy-go-lucky, fun kind of person. But if you fuck with me, I'm going to do what my mother and father trained me to do, which is defend myself. So whether it's my little ass, my wife, our family, my old army buddies, friends I made from college, cousins, the guild, the nation, all of that. I don't fuck with anything that belongs to me. Just don't. There's the misconception. I don't go looking for fights, but I will handle it. I will verbally eviscerate the shit out of you, and if you get mad enough to drove up my house, it's gonna be trouble. There's the misconception. I don't know who this man is that everybody keeps describing, but I don't know that motherfucker. Like I don't. Who is this man? I'm a narcissistic bully who has to have my ass kissed there all the time. I'm not a safe space, whatever the hell that shit means. The misconceptions start with 99 out of 100% of the shit that you've heard about me ain't true. And I'm also the kind of person that if I got a problem with you, I'm coming to you. I don't need to go through it. Ask these people.
It's so funny that people say that you are a bully.
But think about it. Have I ever asked any of y'all to fight anybody for me?
First of all, it's funny when people say that you're a bully, because if
I'm just saying,
if anybody on this panel could be labeled a bully, and some people about to clutch their pearls, it would be me. It would
It
be
would
me.
be the person hosting the show.
Because full disclosure, have I had to yell at these two? And yes, my body is
Yes.
capable of yelling. Yes. Have I full on cuss people? Yeah, because I don't like when the family fights. I'm gonna let them, like, to a certain point, like, okay, they're gonna tire themselves out and they're going to go take a nap. When they decide not to tire themselves out and go take a nap, then yeah, I go off. But I'm the one that's hey, yo, you got to go do this. Go do that. You know what? I'm taking all the stuff till you go do that. That's me.
Listen,
I'm the one that
last
does
Thursday,
that.
she told me turn this shit off and go do something.
Yeah, I did.
She told me turn off. Thomas, you got Superplex party tonight. Get off this shit and go do something. And that's what I did.
I also told him yesterday, don't shoot. I swear for God. I swear for God. I mean, soon as he clicked off, if you go and do this, we're going to have some But then, hold on. Full disclosure, okay? In true tastastic form, I will go up and then immediately go, but you're fabulous.
She did call me fabulous.
I do.
I don't know where this misconception came from. I don't hate white people. I hate racists. And if you got hit, bitch, I meant you. I am not homophobic. There are certain people that I obviously cannot stand, not because they're gay, but because they're assholes. I am literally a living, breathing embodiment of content of character. If you don't believe me, if you think I am making any of this up, ask the gentleman in the hat how we met. Ask him. I love telling this story. I love telling this story.
But hold on.
We basically started kicking ass.
But it's not just that. And this is why I wanted this show with you two gentlemen. One, let me address this real quick. Dragon, I appreciate your apology. And yes, I am patient. Sometimes I'm more patient than especially the fellas up here would like for me to be. But I wanted this panel because I needed the three of us to be here at the same time. Because a lot of people have a big misconception about the three of us because of how we met. We did not get along, none of us, when we first met.
No.
Were we all standing on the right side of history? Yes, but we're three very strong personalities. Okay. And for me, coming off of being vilified for one, being too soft but too hard all at the same time, and people wanting to silence me. Because look, if you decide you don't want to rock with me, you don't want to rock with me. But there's a reason why there was a concerted effort to follow me across the World Wide Web to try to take down all my accounts because people didn't want me to speak my truth regarding them. And I felt like I had something to prove. Like I was going to come in the room. I was the lion. I was going to roar and you were going to hear me roar. And then I was like, girl, you're doing too much. This isn't you. But we did not all get along. And here we are. And a lot of people
I liked Taz. I did like Taz. But I thought this woman cannot like her damn chest is going to blow out. Like I thought Taz carried a volcanic eruption in her chest. Like where everybody else got a heart, she got a volcano just bubbling and shit. I'm like, she's going to hurt herself. And I don't want to be there when it happens. But then I got to know her. I got to know her, and I think I've said this before. I've heard rumors about every person that has been in the guild, every person that's out of the guild. I've heard rumors about everybody, and I never believed them. I just didn't. I learned my lesson with E. I did. I learned my lesson with E because we didn't get along.
No,
I've still got the fucking videos. That's how crazy this shit is. Our first interactions, I was just looking at my shit yesterday. I said, yo, I still have these fucking things. This how far back this goes. I tried to grow a mustache and a beard at the same time.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Like when I first came across the good professor, I was like, does he think I'm stupid? He got to think I'm stupid. And it's and I was very, very sensitive at the time. I admit I was very sensitive. He wasn't. He was agreeing with me. Okay. But perception is a mofo. Perception is a mofo. We looked at each other's strength as aggression. I think we can all agree with that.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Then with Thomas,
Absolutely.
I was like, this mofo don't like me. And then I found out he thought that I didn't like him until, and I don't know if Thomas remembers this. There was a man who tried to hide his face and wanted to terrorize specifically women online. And I came across him during a bout of horrific insomnia. And I needed to hyper focus because when I get insomnia, I have to hyper focus on something to the point where I overthink, where I just passed out. And I was pissed. And I was like, not only is this man coming after women, but he's coming after Black women. And I forget what this man said to me. But that was like my, you know what? Not only am I going to have a I got you bitch moment, people are going to know that I got you. Because usually if I do research on somebody, I don't just randomly do it, but I stay behind the scenes. Nobody knows that I found out who this person was. And I was like, this little, I love you, bro. I do. But this is what I said at the time. This little bald bastard gets on my nerves, but he got to handle this man to man. Because if I go after this man and he say something cross to me, I'm gonna turn into Indiana Jones and I'm not built for prison. But he ain't gonna go act it. So I slid into his DMs, was like, here's the information.
Yeah, and I used it. I do.
It was at a low, but at that
yeah, we tend to give off. You got to look at it from the landscape that we've all been living in for over 10 years. Okay, it is hard to be on the right side of history now. It really the fuck is, and it just seems to get worse every day. Every day, it's just like, who told these dumb motherfuckers to talk? Who said? Here, it's an open forum. Dumbass, just bring it. Whatever you got, get in front of a microphone. We all want to hear it. Nobody knows where that came from. But my first introduction to the world via TikTok was, I'm tired of carrying these stupid motherfuckers with us. I am sick of it. And it just snowballed from there. But what I've learned is there are fans, there are friends, and then there are family. Most fans have no idea about me. They don't know who I am. They don't know anything about me. Probably because either they're not paying attention or they're dazzled by something. I don't know what the fuck it is. Then I have friends. These are people that know me, but they're not used to the person that I am. They're like, wow, you never said that before. No, because I had a government job. I really couldn't fucking say. But then there's family. Mm-hmm. Over the past 6 years, almost 6 years, I think I've gathered family. Has it always been great? No. No, it hasn't. When you get grown adults do grown adult shit. And sometimes that shit comes back and shatters your faith in this shit. But for the most part, I think I picked well. I do.
Oh yeah, and Thomas, Elijah, and I have a lot more in common than you all know. I always joke with people that Elijah is the light-skinned version of Thomas, and I am Thomas with hair on my head, not on my face. I am outwardly and publicly more sensitive showing than the two of them, but all three of us are very sensitive in our own ways and we have our own triggers. But the biggest thing is all of us have had our lemony snicket moments throughout the past couple years. And for me, oh my goodness, like everything was happening so publicly, and I was like, I do journal. How does this keep making it? Like how I got into the guild, the person who sponsored and recommended me into the guild got to the finish line, and it was like dun 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 dun, ultimate scandal. I was like, you gotta kidding me. I was like, what? And this wasn't just like somebody who recommended me. This was somebody I was friends with. This was somebody dating a very good friend of mine. Like when I tell you the degrees of separation was just a circle, okay?
It
It was
was
not a
a
Venn
circle.
diagram.
It wasn't even
I was just
there wasn't no degrees. Wasn't no
and
damn
I was
degrees.
just like, please, sir, don't think that I hid anything and that I did anything. Please don't. Then I was a part of another organization where stuff hit the fan because somebody was trying to throw cooter biscuit at everybody and nobody wanted the cooter biscuit. And then she's like, if I got to go down, this wench gonna go down with me. And I was like, I'm not doing nothing. And she was like, you get a cooter biscuit affair. You get a cooter biscuit affair. You get a cooter biscuit affair. And I was like, no, because that cooter biscuit ain't been refrigerated not once. I can smell it through the phone. Keep it over there. And I looked at Elijah like, please, still be my friend. I did not touch that cooter biscuit. Please and thank you.
I am not responsible for that.
Right. It was getting bad. And then we went through the series of crazy white wenches. You know, I'm not saying white women because wench doesn't have a gender. Go with me here, people. Don't get offended unless you one of them white wenches that decide to pop in today. Then please be all the offended. Who for some reason think that I have the key to the gate to their no spots. I don't. And I don't want to know about the adventures of their no spots. Please stop reaching out to me, telling me all the nasty things that you want to do to them. I delete it. I don't even tell them. I'm just like, what makes you think I want to know? Because I don't. And I think it's gross that y'all are attracted to them. And no, I'm not saying that they're ugly. They're my brothers. And
excuse me?
All of their all of their things are immaculate conception. Okay. They just hold hands and do little nose kisses with their spouses in my brain.
Oh no, I'm letting her have. Listen, she's all. Listen, this is all her now. I'm just hanging around for the ride at this point. I got nothing.
That is what's in my head, and y'all gonna keep it there. But we have as a trio been through some things, and as a trio, we have kept some things alive.
Yeah.
We have made friends and family. We have lost friends and people who we thought were family.
Yeah.
Yep.
At the end of the day, we three seem to always come back to one another. Now, there was one time I swear for God, I swear for God, I wanted to turn into Big Mama and just uproot a tree, not cut a switch, uproot a tree and beat the dog spittle out of the both of y'all. Because y'all broke the cardinal rule. And you know what the cardinal rule is? We don't argue in public. People may want to argue with us in public, but we don't argue in public.
Yeah. I will tell you this much about that moment.
What did we learn?
We learned a phone call and a Zoom messages they work wonders. Yeah. But I will tell you what I learned personally. I give credit where credit is due. I've been doing it, but I didn't do it as publicly as I could. I need to give credit where credit is due. I tell anybody that ever asks about the Villains Guild, the idea was mine. The template was him. This has been since day one. The idea was mine, but the template was he. Here's this, and mind y'all, the smiling, hat-wearing, happy-go-lucky, light-skinned Jermaine version of me from the UK that y'all see today is not the man I've known for almost 6 years. The man I met was a very dour, very hard on himself type person.
Yeah.
That's why we got into it. Because listen, you can't be, I've got the corner market on this depression shit, dog. I'm gonna need you to find another lily pad. This all me over here. This right here, all me. You gotta listen. You get anxiety, I get depression, and we'll switch up once a month. That's what I was looking at it. But here's this intelligent, like very well spoken, got that Cockney thing going. I don't. Okay, my entire inflection is a mix of I don't know where the hell I'm at half the time. But here's this man who works in the community. Doesn't brag about it though. He works in the community and calls himself an outcast. And I was like, wait a minute, that don't sound right. That don't sound right. We had our flare-ups in the beginning, but we actually had a conversation.
Yeah.
I had to take a break from social media for a little bit. I was getting burned out. This was year one.
Yeah.
Because I was going to therapy, I was getting meds, and I was doing TikToks. I was like, listen, I can't carry this. But the idea of the Guild came from me. The idea of an organization that does not play by the rules. We don't rules. Who's supposed to follow them? Like them the hero shits. We don't. But I had no idea how I was going to build this or what I wanted it to look like. I will tell you honestly, the idea came from my family. Mind you, this was at the time I wasn't talking to two of my sisters. I'm like, this is what I would want a family to look like. And there was E, this upright person who is outside of the societal norms. This is a man that for a very long time, before E opened his mouth, a Dragon Ball would come flying out that bitch, right? And there was no me what I'm about to say. No, he was giving you whatever the hell came up. Like if it was almost like a person that needed to vomit and you just so happen to walk right past him or right next to him. Hey, man, how you doing? Oh, that was he. And I'm like, I can be like that. I can be like that. Targeted. And the idea was formed. And what I learned from our last flare-up was I have to give credit where credit is due. I do. And I have to be more vocal about it. I give shit to Taz, but if y'all knew most of the shit that Taz does behind the scene, you would be surprised. Like, Taz isn't just a villain at arms. Taz is like a den mother.
Yeah.
She really is. She's really like a goddamn den mother. Did you eat? Baby, did you eat? Baby, you can't do the sound of coffee without eating, Thomas. Go get yourself some food. E, I saw that last video. You look a little pale. Is your wife feeding you? Give me Miss Outkast number. I'll call her. Miss Outkast, you can't let him do them videos like that. He out there on them streets. He look a little pale. He look a little more light-skinned than he normally is. Make sure that boy eating some soup. Is he taking care of himself? That's Taz. I give her shit. Do not get me wrong. I give Taz shit all the damn time. But it is only because I am in awe of the shit that she does. And I mean across the board. I am in awe of it. I give shit to Angry. But there wouldn't be any of this shit if it wasn't for him.
Yeah.
Angry and goddamn George run GCPR. The graphics, the butt system, all of this. All of it. Gambit, every once in a while, gets really hard on himself. We got to remind him, who the hell gonna make these struggle love jokes? Taz can pull them off because she has a smooth voice, but she already doing the most as it is. The heart of this shit is Gambit. I learned you can't be around people and just say this is an organization and leave it at that. You have to see a family. You have to. You have to see a family because there's no way to do anything alone. I get it now. You know, I to be honest with you, when this shit first started, I thought that was my only job. I'm alone. You fight an uphill battle. You're crazy as hell. The army didn't want you. Your ass is nuts. You're on your own. But now I realize I'm not. And I'm proud. You know, like that. It cost me nothing to say that out loud. I'm proud of these two.
We did break a rule, Chaos. We did. We did. Oh, I saw that. We let our butt hurt selves break us apart, and we argued in public. And for that shit, you know, and I was butthurt, you know, and I felt isolated, I felt alone, and for some reason I was blaming Thomas, and it wasn't, it was me. I was going through some shit and I was angry as fuck, and I didn't know how to express it. And it's like me and Thomas, it's crazy because we both get angry at the same time about the same things. We both get depressed at the same time about the same things. And I'll tell you something that's weird. I was doing a group I do on Saturdays for Black people in the LGBT community who feel outcasted because of how they're treated. And I happened to show myself with the makeup on, but also with the makeup on off. And then I told them about the Villains Guild stuff because, you know, Professor Moriarty. And then I showed them a picture of Thomas. And you know what the person said without even realizing who he was? Oh, he looks like you.
Listen, it is the weirdest. In 54 years of life, I've never met somebody almost identical to me until I met this one. My mom always, I used to tell people all the time, it used to be a joke. Like back in my young rogue days when I was in them clubs and shit with the six-pack abs and the tight ass shirts and shit. I used to tell people, I'm like, stop playing. I used to tell people, I'm like, the world ain't ready for two of me. They're not.
The world been ready for two of y'all.
Listen,
but
I thought I died.
Yes,
you know.
Professor cusses. He cussed real good. And Anna J says, Professor, when you coming here?
I want to do this. I seriously want to do this, and I appreciate people asking. I really do. I want to bring a flavor to it. I want there to be a section on understanding how mental health and trauma can affect you, but also a section on truth and what we can do to create change, and a section where I give it to people straight. So yeah, I'm ready for this.
Yes,
I'm ready for this. I want to do this.
I once had to tell people that there is daylight between GCPR and the Villains Guild. I had to tell them because people were like, listen, is this some guild shit or is this GCPR? What I now realize is the guild is GCPR and vice versa.
Absolutely.
It absolutely is, because the work ethic of the people on the station and the work ethic of the people in the guild, they're almost parallel. They really are. I get the honor to be the first. Listen, as cool as of a nickname as the Brutalist is, it's not my nickname. It's a title. That is a title. Just like the second is a title. So my black ass is gonna die one day. And according to the way the guild is set up, if a member of the founders either cannot fulfill their duties, someone else within the guild will step up. It's the way it's been since the beginning.
A field commander, I like that.
Yes. The second is our field commander. That person is the person that, if the guild is going to do something as a whole, the field commander is the person that says it out loud. The Brutalist is not an isolated job. The Brutalist stands as the epitome of the three laws: authenticity, honesty, and fighting for those who cannot fight for themselves. Now, I've always said, if the day ever comes, a person sits in this chair and if they don't adhere to them three, get that some bitch up out of there.
Oh, we're gonna flip it over. But for those that are curious, once you're in the guild, you're gonna the majority of your time in the guild, you see me, you see my face, you hear me. Don't get it's not like that. It's not okay. Sometimes it's like that, but mostly it's not like that. And we have we have an incredible all guild, all hands on deck Outkast Nation initiative that will be starting in a week. And also we have some new members that will be onboarded by the end of this week. And I say that you see me a lot, but a lot of people get when I say I'm sensitive, I'm not that I'm not that sensitive. Don't get
She
it
wouldn't have the
twisted.
job if she was that sensitive.
Um,
Like if
I'm
if
not
if if she
I'm
got
not
knocked
that
over by
sensitive.
feather pillows, we
Yeah, no, like I say that I'm Indiana Jones for a reason, and if y'all haven't seen that movie and you don't get the reference, just look up the whip scene. I'm Indiana Jones. Don't play with me, okay? I work smart, not hard. Um, but I also want to let you all know the Villains Guild nor Outcast Nation, it's not a social club.
it really
It
is.
Hell
is
no.
not networking for clout. This is not a get rich quick scheme because a lot of people get it in their minds when they look at collaboratives like this that, oh, if I get onto here, my numbers are going to skyrocket and I'm going to be making money hands over foot. Baby, we all broke.
We broke. Do we listen? Shout out to Tiger Bomb, but that is the hardest working for his money so he can give it to his community as person I've ever seen in my entire adult life.
Absolutely.
The man pulls trucks, people. Okay, it's not like the guild is rolling in money. We ain't got it like that. We got a man who is literally pulling trucks. He's a former paratrooper jumping out of planes for whatever reason. And he's pulling trucks to stay in shape so that he can get donations so we can give kids school supplies and homeless people food. And, we have, as much as y'all want to laugh at Dave the Viking, there's some bitches out there doing it. Like, there's no ambiguity about that man. If it comes to throwing rubber dicks, he throwing rubber dicks. But he is out there doing
There
it.
are a lot of people doing a lot of things, and there are times that for those watching and listening, do I get frustrated with y'all? Yes, because sometimes y'all are dumb as hell. Sometimes y'all are stupid as shit. I'm not gonna mince words. I am like the sister that you may not want, but you need. And to a lot of people, I am the mother. For those that have been around here since my first account, you know that there are a lot of people who will come into the comment section, whether we're live on air or a video or post that I put up that will refer to me as mom or refer to me as a name that's not Taz J. These are people who have adopted me along the way. And I'm saying this because of what Dragon said. One, I don't yell at anybody, trust and believe. But I get what you mean. I can be very passionate. But I say this because sometimes y'all need a stiff kick in the ass. Sometimes y'all need to be reminded that you're being full of shit. And that is what Outcast Nation and the Villains Guild is. And you tend to attach a lot specifically to these two gentlemen. And I also want to make this clear. I come on here every day throughout the day to remind you all of the order of operations of things. I'm not really a stickler on rules, but I am a stickler on order because we can achieve a lot of things in chaos, but we can achieve even more when we know when to be chaotic and when to be orderly. The dramatics need to stop. The
Yes.
putting things and going around people regarding their positions and who can do what. So let me say this, and because they are here, there's not going to be any misinterpreting, remixing, revising, no, none of that. Okay.
There you go.
You have access to all of us. There is no reason to single out a viewer or a listener for your pity party. At this point, nobody gives a shit. Two, if you exhibit that you are being racist and it is clear you are using one or more of us as a cloak for your racism, nobody gives a shit.
I'm not abiding by it. I'm sorry.
Three,
No.
many people who they tend to forget. Okay. There's George, there's Angry, there's me. You cannot hide in the Discord. We see you.
Hiding in the Discord.
Four.
Are they camping in the Discord?
We are all nice. We are all kind. None of us are benevolent. Okay. That is for your chosen deity or for yourself if you don't choose a deity. Okay. We are not all encompassing. We are not all forgiving. Sometimes it's F you and never un-F you. It is what it is.
In
Okay.
the forehead with a stiff jank covered in fuck you. So.
And finally, all of us are the result of parents getting together, doing the oochie coochie wally wally, and deciding to bring us into this world. And I say that because I'm not the parent of either of these men. They are not the parent of me. All of this trying to run back and forth to run tail that to one of us, I am going to be clear right here, right now. I'ma start cussing you mofos out in 4K with your picture behind me. Okay? I'ma put on my get 'em girl dress and some heels, and I'm gonna do full body, cuss you out like Yanti if y'all don't stop. Cause I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Yes, I will thirst trap it up.
It's going to be.
Can we not? Can we not? Just don't. Okay. Let me address this because.
And I said, don't forget about the 3A's, boss.
Oh, I'm about to tell. That's exactly what I'm about to talk. That's exactly what I'm about to talk about.
I was segueing to that, but it needs to stop. And those of y'all that are regulars here on the Taz Effect, y'all know that I say when we're talking, if you can talk to me back, if you can comment and hear my voice, you're in the house. We all have been through some things since Sound of Coffee was birthed, let alone all the sibling shows, okay? We have been through people coming in trying to take advantage, people trying to grift, all these things. We've gotten better at this, okay? We got a little sixth sense about it, okay? And at this point, you can call my ass Daredevil. Don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it. When you are allowed in the house, because I can't see. I'm about to hide my disabilities.
Lord, she out here confessing shit. Chaos, now, she confessing the shit. Listen, we thought the glasses was for real. She out here confessing. I can't see. No.
Yeah, right. But here's the thing. When you're allowed to be inside the house, act accordingly.
Please. Oh God, please.
Now the A's, sir.
Okay. So to any member of either Outkast Nation or the Villains Guild, I want you to listen to me closely because I don't think I've ever really said this out loud. We ain't a glee club. I don't expect every single person in the guild to get along with each other because every single one of you who have the privilege of being a part of this come from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
This is not a competition. We are not doing the Oppression Olympics. We have 3 A's. 3 A's. Activism, advocacy, and awareness. You will either fit in 1 or 2 or possibly all 3 of those categories. Okay? The Outkast Nation does a completely different ideal on those 3 than the guild. They are not in competition.
No.
They are literally sister organizations.
Yeah.
I do not care what your life experience is. I do not care if you're still dealing with said life experience or not. We aren't all supposed to get along all the damn time because that is a cult. I expect you as members of both organizations, whether you are a part of one or both of them, I expect you to adhere to the 3 laws, be authentic, tell the truth, fight for those who cannot fight for themselves.
Yeah.
And I expect you to either be an advocate, bring awareness, or do activism, or all 3. I don't really care. That is the minutia that Taz and Jess handle because that is their job. But this idea that we all have to get along, this idea that somebody's life experience is less relevant than this person's life experience is bullshit. I don't expect you to like each other, but I do expect you to work as a team. I do expect you to work as a team because that's what this is. We support each other. even if we think, well, I ain't never lived there, so I can't relate. Nobody asked you to. We asked you to support. In the military, you got different people from all these different walks of life with one purpose. It is something that made my time in the military, especially in the Army, the best part of it. I think the rank was cool. All right, great, fantastic. I got rank. Yay. But what was more important was the work that was done. I didn't have to be a rock rib conservative from West Virginia, just like they didn't have to be a bony kid from the west side of Kansas City. But we did our job. I want y'all to stop discounting the life experience of fellow members. No more of that. No more. Just say, I don't understand it, but I will fight next to you. I will fight side by side. Because in this life, where we're all at right now, we do not have time for glee clubs and we don't have time for pity parties. We don't. We have work to do. Now, me being the person that I am, I have a voice, something that I have never used in 50-something years. I am using it the best way I know how. I can be an advocate, I can bring awareness, and I can be an activist. But what I cannot be is petty, manipulative. It's all about me. I can't. Because the job description for the brutalist does not allow that. I have my arrogant moments. Do not get me wrong. I truly do. But I'm arrogant towards the enemy and not my fellow guild, not my fellow villain. Never. There's not anything any one of you will do that I will go, well, I had something. No. If you're doing it, that means you are supposed to. Whether it's you use your platform to talk about issues involving poor people in a part of the country or the part of the world that I don't know anything about. I don't have to get credit for that. You do. What I advocate for might hurt some people's feelings, but stop looking at it from the standpoint of, oh, he's talking about me, and start looking at it from the standpoint of, yeah, he makes a point. We're not all going to be buddy hanging out and drinking beers. We have work to do. And if these two organizations are going to last long past the time our bones are powder, we don't have time for pettiness. The guild is not about pettiness. It's not about my ego or E's ego or Taz's ego or Chaos's ego. None of that shit matters. This is what a lot of former members never got. This is what they never understood. This is what the founders understood ahead of time. That's why they are there. They're not the leaders. They represent the heart of the guild. That's why if one leaves or one dies, or one can no longer fulfill their responsibility as a founder, another will take his place. There will always be six. They will be there to remind you of the work that your ass is supposed to do. Do not, in any way, shape, form, or fashion, take this as a, oh, well, this is a chance for me to get next to Thomas, and I don't care about that. I don't. The best and worst thing that ever happened to me was crossing 1 million followers on a social media application. Because then it became about clicks, views, algorithms, shit like that, and I hate that shit. I hate that. I would much rather be known by the work that I do. And if I do enough good in this world, and I can get just a 0.5 centimeter of change, then I don't want to be remembered. And that's what we should strive for. We don't want to be remembered in history. We want our work to be remembered. The day a child gets up in some part of the world and they ain't got to worry about hatred because they're Muslim or they're Jew, because they're gay or they're straight, because they're a woman or a man or a girl or a boy, whether they're Republican or Democrat, none of that shit matters. If they can live in a world that is better because we put in that work, then fuck remembrance. I don't want to hear that shit. So this is your one and only reminder of the fucking job you're supposed to be doing. If I have to do it again, I'm coming after people. And make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen, when Taz tells you something, you listen, because that is her job. She is the VAA. When she comes to you and say you effing up, listen, because if she has to come to the founder, she's coming to me. And if I come down, if I got to come and tell you how bad your ass is screwing up, I will put my foot so far in your ass, the water on my knee will quench your damn thirst. It's not a glee club. It's not a popularity contest. And we are not here for our egos and clicks and views and coins and shit like that. We have a job to do, ladies and gentlemen. My fellow villains, my fellow outcasts, we have a job to do. Remember what it is that you're supposed to be doing. Remember.
And with
I've got something to add. I've got something to add as well.
The second has to add.
I've got something to add. I have been saying for a long time now, change the systems. We now have the ability to do so. These organizations now can identify entities that can do exactly that. We have people on the streets. We have people like Dave the Viking. We have people out there canvassing opinion and collecting information. We have people that are creating community food kitchens. We have people that are doing research. We have people that are identifying entities. I say now, enough of the chit chat about we can't. We fucking can and we have to. Boom. When I say let chaos reign, I ain't bullshitting, right? I want things done where change is created. I want that DT47 cocksucking piece of shit out of there. So identify every bit of information we can and identify all legalities and legal representative that have got the gonads to say we're facing up against that guy. We're going to get him out of there. All means, by any means necessary to do that.
Any.
Absolutely. Now with that, any members of Outkast Nation and or the Villains Guild, please, please, please contact me or Smoking Hot Mess Jess. I need the following: the region that you're in, your email address, and your classification, your advocacy. If you're undetermined right now, that's fine. From my brothers, from other mothers. Thank you. As always, I greatly appreciate when you all stop through. See, Thomas, today wasn't traumatizing. There was no videos.
Before you end this, I do want to say thank you. On a professional note, I am so glad you and Jess talked to me, because at this point I would have drove myself crazy. On a personal note, I want to thank you simply for everything. I told you once before, I don't know who this Taz everybody else is talking about, because the only Taz I know is one of the biggest hearted human beings I've ever met. And I'm sticking by that. I am sticking by that, period. Point blank, period. I am sticking by that. I gave you and Jess something that genuinely means a lot to me. Y'all can think the guild is funny or whatever, but this shit means something to me. My blood is in this. My sweat, my tears are in this. And when it came time for me to actually say, I can't do all of this all at once by myself, there was Taz and there was Jess. So on a personal level, I need to thank you for making sure I don't lose it. It has been a hell of a lot of stress off my back, knowing that something this important to me is in good hands. So again, I thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. There's that. There you go. Wanted to throw that out there, just, putting it, Look at her trying not to cry. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her right now. Listen. She about to Viola Davis up in this bitch, boy. She about to hit the Viola Davis. She about to hit the Viola. Remember Fences with the snot? Oh, it's about to happen. She tried to end this show quick. She trying to end this show, gotcha.
Nana just said thank you for your words.
Thank you, Nana. We love you. And thank you for this tumbler. I'm drinking out of this tomorrow.
Okay.
Drink out of this.
All right.
Look at her. Yeah, Viola. Hey, Chaos, the Viola's coming. Just get it ready, buddy. Just get it ready. I'm just E, as always, my love for you is eternal. You will be my brother until I am no longer here. There is no one besides maybe Rocky that I would want on my side for any of this than you. You, my friend, mean the absolute world to me. And I will never get tired of saying that Elijah is my brother. And I do mean my brother.
You're not about to turn this into Niagara Falls, sir. Damn it.
I don't give a shit. I don't care.
I do.
I don't care, man.
First of all.
And Sigrid, you can insert anytime you want. You are a member in good standing of the guild. Insert, please. You have a life story.
Did you say Sigrid and insert in the same sentence, sir?
Pause.
Excuse me.
Got me. Wait a minute. I'll do it for you. Don't even worry about it, Taz. I got it. Don't even worry about it, Taz. Don't even worry about it. You ain't got it on here. There it is.
Pause! What is that?
No, hold on.
Back the fuck
I'm stealing this one.
When did this become a whorehouse?
A whorehouse? Look at it. She ran off. Taz, where did you go? How you gonna leave your own show? She's gonna leave her own show. How do you leave your own shit?
It just booted me right on
that. That Viola was hitting you.
I didn't do it.
Listen, you was like, somebody cutting onions up in here. I can feel it in my nose. I'm a Viola tonight.
Goodness, and Nana J, start now. Nana J says you are the light and energy. Carry that always. Love you. You know what?
See? Taz, sometimes, Taz, it is perfectly okay to be loved and loved on.
I know, because I tell you that all the time. Okay?
Exactly. Duh. What is it? Miss Lyle says it every day. Fill your cup today. Well, sometimes, goddamn it, you need somebody with some water. Fill your cup.
Okay.
Anyway, and again, I'm not above giving out love. I'm not. I told y'all those days are over.
I can't get in trouble twice in 1 week, so we got to end this because I can't be late to class.
Yeah, don't be late to class and let the Viola come out.
Right.
I'm gonna send you a picture of Viola and Fences.
Do not forget, you guys, tonight, 9 p.m., we've got a duality going. If you need some relationship advice, get it from our very own GCPR love and relationship guru. That is Pastor Gia Clinton. And coming to a Tubi movie near you is our very own Pastor Gia Clinton. There will be more coming. And if you just want to get high and sit around and figure out snacks in life,
what's the square root of this room?
High exalted tonight. All of those things are here at GCPR. And do not forget, for those that will be joining me at 7:15 p.m. Eastern, 6:15 Central for Learning Through Literature. Tonight will be a duality. Yes, we will be picking up on our Monday, Wednesday, Friday serving series, which is lovely one from Associate Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. But immediately following at 8 will be the second helping this week of Not My Type, because I do have a pre-scheduled event tomorrow by E. Jean Carroll. Yes, that E. Jean Carroll. And yes, we're talking about that case. Also, Those that are subscribed to me over on Patreon, yes, there's some new fresh nuggets over there. The 5 minute or less audio only Tazisms podcast is up. And for those that are subscribed over on the Substack, yes, there's new history nuggets over there. As always,
Why
always,
you out here giving
always.
out nuggets?
To my, I can't give out the whole
You
chicken.
giving out nuggets now? Giving out nuggets?
I'm not big enough.
Listen, I'm gonna make you laugh through the viola. I don't care. I don't care. You gonna laugh through this viola.
Yes,
You
I
gonna
am.
laugh.
So to my brothers from other mothers, thank you for stopping through. Get prepared for next week. Y'all know what y'all got to be prepared for. Professor, let me know your availability tomorrow because we have the panel to get those last people through to the guild. Remember, so we can get her done. So yeah, there we go.
Expect a very big announcement next week. Expect a very big announcement.
Each one teach one, each one reach one. Go out, be good, do all the things, and shenanigan. Till later, you people. Bye, y'all.
Turn the dial up, let the static fade away. We're building up the future, tracking every single day. Start the morning right, let the rhythm start to breathe. With the sound of coffee pouring, giving just what you need. From the sunrise spark to the late night glow, there's a space for your story and a steady undertow. When the sun goes down and the shadows start to lean, we close it all out with conversations with Jonathan. This is GCPR Radio.